This message goes out to the class of 2015, either if you're graduating high school, if you're graduating college. I have some words for you guys to, reflect on the time that you've had and what to expect for your future. Let's start with the high schoolers graduating 2015. How was high school? Was it everything that Zac Efron and Ashley Tisdale told you it would be? Probably not, huh? But that's alright. You did it. You did it. That's what everyone keeps telling you in the valedictorian speeches, the student council speeches. We did it! Like they watched Legally Blonde 30 times before they were starting to write their speech. You did it. I mean, seriously, like every speech either starts with "we did it" or ends with "we did it." Like, what did you actually do? Congratulations, you got through the easiest part of life. I mean, 80% of high schoolers graduate. Of course, it'll be different depending on where you live. I mean, like, it'll be much lower if you're in, like, Alabama or Nevada for some reason. And pretty much higher other places. But still, you're part of the norm. It's what you were supposed to do. It's what was expected of all of you. Sure, some of you might be, like, the first in your family to graduate high school, and that's great and all, but that's probably because either you're the children of people who immigrated here, or people who just acted in spite of their parents and their ignorance and decided that you wanted more out of life. So good on you for that, but you graduated high school. You didn't win a Nobel Prize or, get drafted in the majors or win an Oscar or any of that shit. You graduated high school. Everybody does it. A lot of people just skated on by. I mean, you could pass with a D. How stupid is that? And also, a lot of you probably really worked really hard to get the grades that you did and the accomplishments that you accomplished, but probably almost all of you worked a little too hard. It was just high school after all. Actually, for many of you going into college, it'll be a little weird as you see that all the classes that you take in college will be much easier than all of the hard ones you had to take in high school. Especially if you're going to one of the 90-something% of universities that require GE courses, of which case you just have to repeat all of the courses that you took in high school. What was the point of high school? Who knows? You have to take GEs now, which is basically the same thing except for dumber people. As a whole, you won't have to do as much work in your classes because instead of maybe 100-something, maybe 200 students that a teacher has to deal with, your professors have to deal with hundreds, if not thousands, of students. So they don't want to grade, 10,000 papers a week, so you're not going to have as much work to do. Reading material, however, will be a completely different subject. You will have to read more. Sometimes it could be as small as this, sometimes it could be as big as this. So have fun with that. Also, they cost like anywhere between like $20 and $150 a book. So in case you thought that, oh, my tuition's paid, I got a scholarship or something, yeah, you're still going to be spending like $600 on books every year. So have fun with that. Oh, and you might have read it in high school, but if you're going into college, prepare to read The Social Contract like at least 6 more times. And that's not an exaggeration whatsoever. Seriously, just like buy it once and keep it because GEs are a bitch. Remember all those fantastic friends that you had in high school? Well, there's statistically a 0% chance of you maintaining those friends over the course of your lifetime, even as soon as a year afterwards. Yeah, that's just how life works. So really, the easiest part of your life is over. This is not the time to celebrate. This is the time to buckle down and actually take responsibility for your actions. You don't get a report card. You don't get a parent-teacher conference. You don't get to know all of your classmates, if any of them, depending on the size of the classroom and what kind of university you go into. It didn't matter if you were valedictorian. No one's going to care in college. It didn't matter if you were the high school football stud or baseball or soccer or what have you. No one's gonna care. You're not doing anything with that in your life anyway. Oh, go ahead and join some co-ed sport. Make yourself feel good and reliving the good old glory days of high school. Because guess what? Those days are over. No matter how big of a man or woman you were on campus in high school, you go to college absolutely as nothing. You're just an incoming freshman who knows nothing and thinks that the best years of your life are behind you. Well, That might be the case for some of you dum-dums out there, but for many other people, life actually gets a little better now that you don't have to deal with, like, high school bullshit. So if you graduated high school, congrats. That's what was expected of you. You're not special, and prepare to actually start living life. Now, for those of you that graduated college, prepare for a lot of questions on, so what can you do with that major? Even if it's like a super specific major. Remember how the job economy was really bad when you entered college? Guess what? It's still really bad. Remember that shitty job that you had to have while you were in college to pay yourself way through just so you could add something to save up some money to when you got your real job after you got your degree? Yeah, you still might need to do that for an indefinite amount of time. But hey, you never need to do schoolwork again unless you're going for your master's or your doctorate, in which case have fun with that. Most likely just a waste of time and money unless you're being like a doctor or a lawyer or something that absolutely requires higher education. But other than that, you still should be pretty fine, but you're still going to be in the norm. You graduated college. It's not the big accomplishment that sets you apart like it did 30 years ago. And for those friends that you made in college, you might know them a little bit afterwards, especially if you end up living in the same area, working in the same fields. Maybe you found your fiance there, but otherwise, that was just another 10,000 faceless people that you had never knew before and won't know afterwards. Anyways, congrats class of 2015, and yes, everyone has been pronouncing it wrong. It's pronounced 2015, not 2015. These people are supposed to be educators, but they keep saying the damn thing wrong over and over again. Anyways, congrats. You did it.